What's up, guys? So, I guess the big talk of what's happening now is the fight between Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul. And my thoughts on this fight, I'm just like, why is Floyd wasting his time with this? I mean, this is a situation where Floyd has everything to lose and nothing to gain. The only thing that he gains is a big payday, but at what cost? Now, I know some people are going to make the argument that, okay, Floyd is retired. He earned the right to do what he wants to do. And that's true. He has earned the right to do what he wants to do. But this is not a good look. I mean, think about it. Think about Floyd's last two fights. You know, he fought Colin McGregor. And McGregor was a UFC champ. But, it was a boxing match, so obviously that was going to favor Floyd. I didn't like that fight either. But I actually like that fight better than this fight. Floyd's other fight was against this, I forgot what his name was, but he was like a young Asian up and coming MMA star, and it was another boxing match which would favor Floyd, obviously, and Floyd ended up knocking him out in the first round. And I couldn't give him credit for that fight either because it's a boxing match, so obviously it's going to favor Floyd. Those were just two fights that he knew he could win because Floyd he's mastered the art of boxing. So obviously if it's a boxing match, the boxer's going to have the advantage. Because the other two fighters were MMA stars, but even though MMA fighters do train in boxing, they don't train in it enough to be on the same level as a professional boxer. And this fight is just going further in the wrong direction because from what I've heard, Logan Paul has only had either one or two fights, and that's it. Now, yeah, Logan is taller and bigger, but skill-wise, it's not even close. I mean, Mayweather is so much more skilled than Paul could ever be. I mean, you got Floyd, who's an undefeated champion. And the reason why I don't like this fight is because it's just another gimmick fight. Like the other two fights I just mentioned. It's just a gimmick fight. Yeah, it gets people's attention, but it's not the same as a real boxing match between two skilled professional boxers. Now the thing is, okay, so Floyd's gonna fight Logan Paul, a guy who's a YouTuber who's only had one or two professional fights, and you got Terrence Crawford just waiting for a fight. Floyd could have fought him. That would have looked good on Floyd's resume. If he would have had a win over Terrence Crawford, that would have been a good win because Terrence Crawford is undefeated, a very good skilled boxer. He's young and he's hungry. That would have been a good win for Floyd. That would have been a good match for Floyd. That's what he should be doing. But he's not. He's fighting Logan Paul. And look at Pacquiao. He's fighting Errol Spence, a young, undefeated, dangerous fighter. At least Pacquiao's testing himself. Floyd's not doing that. Now, like I said, people can make the argument that Floyd's retired. He can do what he wants to do. Yeah, I know this. But Pacquiao could have made that same decision, but he didn't. He's actually tested himself. So, in my opinion, no matter how you slice it, Pacquiao's legacy is going to be better than Floyd's. It is. Whether Pacquiao wins his fight or loses, at least he's testing himself against another professional boxer, an undefeated, skilled professional boxer. And Floyd's just wasting his time with a YouTuber. Now, from Logan Paul's perspective, he has everything to gain, whether he wins or loses, and the odds of him winning are like 1,000,000 to 1. I mean, he'll have a puncher's chance because he's big and he's tall, but that's the only shot he's going to have. He's going to have to hope he can catch Floyd with a lucky punch, but I don't see that happening. I see Floyd just taking this guy apart. Floyd's not going to finish him right away. He's going to punish him. This fight probably won't go 6 rounds. If it goes to distance, I would be surprised. And if it does go to distance, it's only because Floyd wanted to. But like I said, Floyd's just wasting his time. I mean, you got Terrence Crawford just waiting. I mean, he's actually waiting to fight somebody. He has nobody to fight. Floyd could have took that fight. That would have looked good on Floyd's resume. That would have been good for Floyd's legacy. But, I mean, let's be real. Floyd would do anything for money. And, I mean, he's obviously shown that he'll be willing to take any kind of weird circus freak show fight if the payday's good. And for me, being a boxing fan, I don't want to see that. You know, Floyd should be testing himself against real fighters, real boxers, not doing these gimmick fights that are meaningless. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that.